currently watching Game 6 of the Detroit Pistons Cavs series. So during halftime, instead of scrolling on my phone or watching the halftime show or with some weak ass ads, I'm gonna get some knowledge. So picking up where we left off, hold on, let me. Now for the interesting question. If you completely ignored your goals, hold on, I'm gonna take my glasses off. If you completely ignored your goals and focused only on your system, would you still succeed? For example, if you were a basketball coach and you ignored your goal to win a championship and focused only on what your team does at practice each day, would you still get results? I think you would. The goal in any sport is to finish with the best score, but it would be ridiculous to spend the whole game staring at the scoreboard. That's a fact, actually, yeah. The only way to actually win is to get better each day. In the words of three-time Super Bowl winner Bill Walsh, the score takes care of itself. The same is true for other areas of life. If you want better results, then forget about setting goals. Focus on your system instead. What do I mean by this? Are goals simply useless? Of course not. Goals are good for setting a direction, but systems are best for making progress. A handful of problems arise when you spend too much time thinking about your goals and not enough time designing your systems. That's a fact. Problem number 1. Winners and losers have the same goals. Ooh! It's a bar. Goal setting suffers from a serious case of survivorship bias. We concentrate on the people who end up winning, the survivors, and mistakenly assume the ambitious goals led to their success while overlooking all of the people who had the same objective but didn't succeed. Man, this nigga's a genius. Every Olympian wants to win a gold medal. Every candidate wants to get the job. And if successful and unsuccessful people share the same goals, then the goal cannot be what I'm too excited. I gotta relax. These words they're too juicy. These pages are too. It's like a delicacy. Every time I touch it with my finger, it just does something to me. Then the goal cannot be what differentiates the winners from the losers. It wasn't the goal of winning the Tour de France that propelled the British cyclists to the top of the sport. Presumably, they had wanted to win the race every year before, just like every other professional team. The goal had always been there. It was only when they implemented a system of continuous small improvements that they achieved a different outcome. Problem number 2. Achieving a goal is only a momentary change. That's a fact. Imagine you have a messy room and you set a goal to clean it. If you summon the energy to tidy up, then you have a clean room. For now. But if you maintain the same sloppy pack rat habits that lead to hey bro, this nigga gotta chill. Pack rat habits that lead to a messy room in the first place, soon you'll be looking at a new pile of clutter and hoping for another burst of motivation. You're left chasing the same outcome because I just want to say I never really complain about how my room looks because I don't have an issue. I'm sorry, that's not what this is about. You're left chasing the same outcome because you never changed the system behind it. You treated a symptom without addressing the cause. Achieving a goal only changes your life for the moment. That's the counterintuitive thing about improvement. We think we need to change our results, but the results are not the problem. What we really need to change are the systems that cause those results. When you solve problems at the results level, you only solve them temporarily. In order to improve for good, you need to solve problems at the systems level. Fix the inputs and the outputs will fix themselves. Problem number 3. Goals restrict your happiness. The implicit assumption behind any goal is this. Once I reach my goal, then I'll be happy. The problem with the goals for this nigga's, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I think this nigga might genuinely be like the nigga who wrote the Bible, bro. Like, this nigga he's just preaching every single syllable, bro. This shit is crazy. The problem with a goals first mentality is that you're continually putting happiness off until the next milestone. Yeah, I read that. I've slipped into this trap so many times I've lost count. For years, happiness was always something for my future self to enjoy. I promised myself that once I gained 20 pounds of muscle or after my business was featured in the New York Times, then I could finally relax. Furthermore, goals create an either or conflict. Either you achieve your goals and are successful, or you fail and you are a disappointment. You mentally box yourself into a narrow version of happiness. This is misguided. It is unlikely that your actual path through life will match the exact journey you had in mind when you set out. It makes no sense to restrict your satisfaction to one scenario when there are many paths to success. A systems first mentality provides the antidote. When you fall in love with the process rather than the product, that's what Messi be on. When you fall in love with the process rather than the product, you don't have to wait to give it to your to you don't have to wait to give yourself permission to be happy. You can be satisfied anytime your system is running. And a system can be successful in many different forms, not just the one you first envisioned. Problem number 4. Goals are at odds with long-term progress. Finally, a goal-oriented mindset can create a yo finally, a goal Finally, a goal-oriented mindset can create a yo-yo effect. Many runners work hard for months, but as soon as they cross the finish line, they stop training. The race is no longer there to motivate them. When all of your hard work is focused on a particular goal, what is left to push you forward after you achieve it? This is why many people find themselves reverting to their old habits after accomplishing a goal. The purpose of setting goals is to win the game. The purpose of building systems is to continue playing the game. Tom Brady, LeBron James, you know what I'm saying? True long-term thinking is goalless thinking. It's not about any single accomplishment. It is about the cycle of endless refinement and continuous improvement. Ultimately, it is your commitment to the process that will determine your. Bro, I'm dead. I almost just cried, bro. This nigga, yo, like, I feel like my mind is getting reformed right now. Hold on, how much time I got on here? Okay, we still got 11 minutes. We cool. A system of atomic habits. If you're having trouble changing your habits, the problem isn't you. The problem is your system. Bad habits repeat themselves again and again, not because you don't want to change, but because you have the wrong system for change. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Focus on the overall system rather than a single goal. It's one of the core themes of this book. It is also one of the deeper meanings behind the word atomic. By now, you've probably realized that an atomic habit refers to a tiny change, a marginal gain, a 1% improvement. But atomic habits are not just any old habits, however small. They are little habits that are part of a larger system. Just as atoms are the building blocks of molecules, atomic habits are the building blocks of remarkable results. Habits are like the atoms of our lives. Each one is a fundamental unit that contributes to your overall improvement. At first, these tiny routines seem insignificant, but soon they build on each other and fuel bigger wins that multiply to a degree that far outweighs the cost of their initial investment. They are both small and mighty. This is the meaning of the phrase atomic habits, a regular practice or routine that is not only small and easy to do, but also the source of incredible power, a component of the system of compound growth. God damn, hold on, this halftime low-key long as shit. Oh, he got a chapter summary? I'm not going to read that. Actually, I am. Chapter summary. Habits are the compound interest of self... Nah, I'm not reading that. I'm sorry. 2. Chapter 2. How your habits shape your identity and vice versa. Why is it so easy to repeat the bad habits and so hard to form good ones? Few things can have a more Few things can have a more powerful Jeez, man. Few things can have a more powerful impact on your life than improving your daily habits. And yet it is likely that this time next year you'll be doing the same thing rather than something better. Ouch. Okay. It often actually not true. Fuck nigga. Last year I was not going to the gym consistently. Pussy. But anyways, it often feels difficult to keep good habits going for more than a few days, even with sincere effort and the occasional burst of motivation. Habits like exercise, meditation, journaling, and cooking are reasonable for a day or two and then become a hassle. However, once your habits are established, they seem to stick around forever, especially the unwanted ones. Despite our best intentions, unhealthy habits like eating junk food, watching too much television, procrastinating, and smoking can feel impossible to break. Changing our habits. Hold on, let's add something to that. Watching too much television, procrastinating for sure, scrolling on TikTok, smoking, gooning can feel impossible to break. Changing our habits to Changing our habits is challenging for two reasons. One, we try to change the wrong thing. And two, we try to change our habits in the wrong way. In this chapter, I'll address the first point. In the chapters that follow, I'll address the second. Our first mistake is that we try to change the wrong thing. To imagine two people resisting a cigarette when imagine two people I think the game's about to start again. I'm hold on, what they saying? What the fuck is this? What the fuck? Nah, the game ain't about to start. Imagine two people. Hold on, how much time I got on the recording? Okay, cool. Oh shit! Wait, that motherfucker about to start. Oh, that bit about to start. All right, bet. We just finished. We are now on chapter 2 of Atomic Habits. The score of the Pistons Cavs game is 54-51. Cavs lead the series 3-2. I want the Cavs to win. I like Donovan Mitchell and James Harden. But yeah, we're out.